Hail and well met, weary travellers. It's time for another episode of the Polyhedron Collider Plays D&D. Tonight we have not the Master Fate, Champions of Chance, those guys. Well, most of them. So tonight we have myself, John Cage as Xanhorn the Bard. We will shortly have Rory Summers as Havarl the Paladin. We have Paul Ralph as Cenza the Cleric. And we have Ben Hopper as Benjin the Barbarian. And hosting us all, as always, we have our mighty, impressive, and very benevolent DM Steve.
What are you after, Cage?
Living?
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Oh dear. Well, let's find out how grisly we die then. If you would like to once again resume the story, Mr. Steve.
So, in the last session, you were in the middle of invading Linamar, the Cloud Giant Castle, in attempts to rescue Felglos the Dragon, which you did.
Hurrah!
Somehow.
Smoothly, I thought, in fact. So you've scarpered from the castle and have made your way to Yatar with the Dragon Felglos, who said he was going to leave you and go take some refuge, but every time you think he's going to go, he ends up coming with you for some bizarre reason. So the last thing that happened...
bunch.
Well, yeah. So the last thing we happened is you headed to Yatar. You were in the Wink and Kiss tavern. Xanhorn did a little ode to Cenza. And you'd done some delving to find out some information about Jotun's Bane, the lost giant slaying sword.
Yes.
So you've been chasing. You heard the sword belonged to a Lord Zamorvan. You went to Zamorvan's keep and found out his son had stolen the sword and had shacked up with someone in Yatar. You followed them to Yatar, only to find out that Havarl Zamorvan had lost the sword in some kind of gambling to the captain of the watch, which is a man called Brenner.
Yes.
I think that's where we left it.
Did we have a name for the sword?
Jotun's Bane.
How do you spell that?
With a J.
J-Y-O-T-E-N-S is how I've spelt it in my notes.
J-Y...
Jotun.
Jotun...
Bane.
That was close.
It's that kind of Nordic YHJ, Jotun's Bane.
Oh, so a bit like my surname then.
Yeah.
Which I have to always cut and paste when I'm typing it on my thing, because you can't find an N or whatever the letter is with a little 5 underneath it anywhere on the keyboard.
There's no N in Hopper. What are you on about?
No, Benjin's surname.
You know, I don't think we've ever heard it. Or if we have, Xanhorn doesn't remember it.
It's like, how do I pronounce
it? So, are we currently in the Wink and the Kiss? Is that right?
Yes, so you've had your night out. You have drinking and singing, and it's now the following day.
I imagine I wander down for breakfast, see what's what.
You get down to breakfast, and Felglos is already there, tucking into a rather hearty breakfast, shall we say?
Deservedly so. I'll grab a seat next to him and say, "Morning, Fel. Good to see you up and about."
Morning. Oh, yeah. He's a little tiny halfling. You seem to be. It looks like he's actually eating the calorific intake that a dragon would require, which doesn't quite add up. But you're looking at him.
I'm sitting in the opposite corner, just shooting daggers at Xanhorn.
Xanhorn's wildly oblivious to it, I imagine.
Yeah.
Xanhorn's good at shooting, being a rapper. Rap.
Well, with his crossbow. It's quite tricky to fire one of those. Like, so
Oh dear. And Benjin will come down and order a whole chicken for breakfast.
nice. So as we're sat around the table, I will ask Cenza, assuming we can get him to come and join us, and he'll forgive me at least that much. But I'll ask
I
him:
suppose.
does he know, or does he think the Vonin Dodd was that the right name for the
What the Ronin Dodd was the giant's thing, yeah.
the stick that I've got in my bag of holding, the
Rod. That's the rod of the Ronin Dodd.
rod of the Vonin Dodd?
Yeah, Vonin Dodd was the actual piece of the golem.
So, do we think that I would be able to try and locate the sword using this rod? Are we familiar enough with it to be able to say that we'd like to search for Jotun's Bane with it and have any
Yeah.
measure of success?
I did cast Identify on this Wand of a Vonin Dodd, didn't I? And
Yes.
if memory serves, it was the normal locate object spell, but if it was being used to detect adamantine, it was 30 miles or something ridiculous, as opposed to 1,000 feet.
10 miles it was, yeah.
10 miles, okay.
Yeah. So, it's normal locate object. And unless it's adamantine, then it's, as you said, 10 miles.
Okay, locate object 5E.
It costs a charge to do so.
Yeah, so I relay that it's the normal locate object spell,
Which
which
is 1,000 feet, yes, is normal
1,000
locate
feet.
object. The object
know-
must be familiar to you for a locate object.
Mm-hmm. So I imagine that Xanhorn would have described it in some sense, but that's probably not familiar enough, I would guess.
No, because you're not actually familiar with it. You've not seen this item yourself.
Gotcha. Okay. It was just something that Xanhorn had thought about while he drifted off to sleep. So we talked about going and meeting the head of the guard. I also need to relay some information to you-know-who.
Havarl over there looks like he needs a shave.
I imagine
Yeah.
Havarl's already gone to have the shaving back, like well before any of us were awake.
So yeah, he's gone to do his morning constitutional, then have a shave.
Indeed.
Triple S.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any errands or anything to run, but maybe if you guys could find out where we could find this guard, essentially, it would be useful, I think, to go and check on my contacts and see if I can find anything out that way. Or we could all go together to both.
Is now a good time to divvy up any gold we may have in party funds?
Yep, sure.
As I only have 40 gold to my name.
Yep, let's do that then. So in the party coffers, we currently have 850 GP. We also have another head, which needs to be dealt with. Do I remember rightly, Steve, that Yatar is or isn't in the Lord's Alliance?
It is in the Lord's Alliance.
Okay.
So they would take
That
some
was
heads.
300 GP?
I think you're getting 300 GP from the last time, yeah.
So, yeah.
But we'd have to offload that first.
Yeah.
Probably to the guy we're looking for, the head of the captain of the guard, I guess. And there was a load of rubies and stuff as well, wasn't
There's
there, in your bag?
also a 750 GP ruby pendant, but we would obviously have to sell that.
Mm.
So I tell you what.
So basically, we've got 850 actual gold pieces between us at the moment, and
Yes.
the rest is in not in cash. it's
Valuable
in,
items.
yeah, assets.
Xanhorn look at the other guys and go, well, look, we know I'm an expert at negotiating, so why don't I go and sell this pendant on my rounds to the other thing?
Yes. You do that.
All right. I'll come back with some more gold. Here's the gold, you guys. So I'll hand you.
Would it be easier to just take 200 each and then
Yeah.
leave 50 in the bag?
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Because there's 4 of us, 850. So yeah, take 200 each for now. And I mean, quite honestly, we tend to lend each other money or give it to each other anyway, depending on who it is.
Yeah.
We're not all thievy little halflings. So right, another.
Don't know what you
200.
mean. Okay, so what are you guys doing then?
So I would like to head over to.
Oh, did you? What did you do with the giant's head? Sorry.
It's still in the bag at the moment.
Okay, fair enough.
Still in the bag, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And it's been protected by my spell, which I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, the one that stops it decomposing.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, gentle repose.
So why don't I give the bag to Cenza for now, and you guys, if you're heading over to the guards anyway, can do something useful with that. And then while you guys are off doing that, I'll go and contact my sources.
Right.
That makes sense?
Okay, so who wants to go first then?
Don't mind.
Me. I'll go first.
John
Okay.
sounds like he's got something. Sorry.
Yeah.
Xanhorn sounds like he's got something planned.
Xanhorn's always got something planned. It's probably not a good idea. But
I imagine he scampers out like a little child.
yeah, I think that's probably about right. Skips probably, in a very kind of minstrelly kind of way.
Okay, then what are you doing then?
So I would like to go and find Kolbaz.
Okay,
Uh,
so you go to the manor where the tower is.
the grumpy harper,
Yeah.
and I'll try and find him.
Well, he lives in this kind of manor, which always looks like this beautifully up-kept place, and it doesn't take trouble to find him. He is kind of staring out of his garden when you find him.
I'll try and sneak up to try and stand next to him and also admire from the same distance, but without alerting him to my presence.
Make a stealth check then. Stealth 14. What's his passive perception going to be? That's the question. He's one of them. I don't have the books to hand. There's too many books. Too many books. Dungeons and Dragons would stop making them. It'd be much easier for me, but Andy would be annoyed.
He would be less poor though.
Yes, so he doesn't appear to have noticed you.
So I'll sidle up next to him and just without any introduction, just say, "It really is a lovely garden."
Ah! Oh, Helm's teeth.
Sorry, Kolbaz, didn't mean to startle you.
Why did you do that?
As I said, I didn't mean to startle you. But it is a lovely garden.
Of course it is. It took ages to craft this spell. What do you want anyway?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you know already, but I am now one of you, and I'll reveal. Just
What do you want?
Oh, right, okay. So, having spoken to the guy whose name I didn't write down, begins with an X. It's not Xanhorn. The wizard guy that got me into this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's somewhere back in my notes. Anyway, he asked me to keep him informed of anything I learnt about the giants and what they might be up to. And so I have some news.
He keeps making this motion to you. Yep, come on.
Right, Sansori is after a hoard of dragon treasure. Sansori, countess, giant, lives in the clouds. She had captured Felgalas, a bronze dragon, and was torturing him to try and find the location of this.
It takes you a while to get to the point, but when you get there, it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's all about the story.
Okay,
We
so
heroically rescued the dragon. He's now safe and sound once again. However, she and the Cloud Castle were able to escape from us. I thought we had her, but next time perhaps.
So, any idea if she's anywhere near to finding this dragon horde?
She was playing her cards pretty close to her chest and wasn't clear about it. All we do know is that she has the Night Stone and that it can weaken dragons, which was how she was able to ensnare this dragon in the first place. So I suspect she's probably heading out to find the next dragon that she can. She seemed to think that Klaus might know, but whether or not she'd be able to ensnare him, I would have thought probably not.
Well, maybe it'd be for the best of us if she goes and knocks on Klaus' doorstep, eh?
Indeed.
Problem goes away.
So yeah,
Interesting.
I just felt it was worth relaying that tidbit, and if we find out anything more, we'll obviously pass that on as well. You haven't heard any additional news yourself?
Not much. I heard your oh yeah, that reminds me. Your sale went through.
Ah, excellent.
So you're probably wanting the cash for that, I assume.
That would be extremely useful. How did the sale go?
Very well. Sold to the Fandlin Mining Corporation.
Oh, excellent.
I'm very interested in it.
And how did we do? Do you know that?
Hang on. Oh, bloody hell. Give me information first, now you want the bloody money. Just come on, come here. He goes into his office and pulls out scrummers around in a desk, which is just chaos. His office is like just absolute mess. He's surprised he can find anything. He's like pushes some scrolls to one side and some weird dried things. You're not quite sure if it's plant or animal, but all you know is it's dried and dead. Ah, there we go. And plunks this particularly heavy bag of coins in your hand.
I'll drop it in my satchel.
Yeah. There are 600 platinum pieces inside.
Holy shit. That's not bad.
If I've got that right. It's 10, isn't it?
So that's
10
6,000
platinum to a
gold,
gold.
basically.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that us? Well, I'm not there, but is that before or after our paying off 40%? Have they done that for us?
I assume they took their cut when the sale went through. We'll find out. Did I take it Colbaz didn't mention that?
He says you look and it goes, yeah, before you start counting it out. 600 gold worth there. Yes, they took their cut, so it got sold for 15,000 gold pieces.
Wait.
Oh,
15,000.
Remind me never to let you do my accounts.
So
apparently, you'd made a deal with the Water Baron where she took 60% of the cash for it. Apparently,
no, that's the wrong way around.
well, we didn't want to rock the boat and let people know. I think that's more than enough to keep you going for now, isn't it?
Xanhorn will look quite pissed off about this because he was feeling bad enough that he'd got on the shitty deal that he had. Felt like a shitty deal to him. Well, I suppose it's done now, but we can always.
I don't know. Look, right. We don't work for free here, as you know.
Of course.
So the Harpers have taken their commission, should we say?
But I'm working for you as well. So
yeah, and all you've done so far is tell me that a giant up there is looking for something.
I mean, this isn't the first information we fed you. Not you personally, obviously, but the organisation.
Look, right, that's 6,000 gold pieces. That's more than most noblemen will see in a lifetime.
That's fair, but most noble people don't square off against various fire giants and all the other things that we nearly died for. I nearly died.
Yay! Oh, well, boo-hoo. You can buy yourself some armor now, then, can't you?
Can't wear armor anyway. Xanhorn will probably grumble on for a little bit and then remember that he was actually going to ask something else as well. Have you heard of Jotun's Bane?
Should I have?
It's supposedly a giant slaying sword, which we thought might be quite useful in our endeavours. It was last in the possession, we believe, of Halfos Zimorvan's son.
That little shit.
Yes, indeed. I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, it was last in his possession, so you're suggesting you don't know where it is now? Is that what you're getting at?
We were told he lost it in some kind of game, possibly to the head of the guard here, in some kind of gambling incident, and he then subsequently was upset about losing his stuff and murdered a croupier or something along those lines.
Yeah, heard that tale. Yeah, it wasn't. I think he was on a bad streak. It wasn't a croupier, it was somebody else he lost money to. I think he was hoping to recoup the money to get the sword back off the guards, from what I've heard, but then lost it all to somebody else. And yeah, killed him as they got off the Grand Dame, apparently.
Killed the Grand Dame.
No, the Grand Dame's the casino, you moron.
Oh. I'm
You're
not from Yata.
Oh, God, we've picked the thickest Harper agent in the world ever here.
Xanhorn just lets that one wash over him.
Look, right, Brennan. I've been keeping an eye on the nobles. Something fishy is going on.
Okay.
Over the last few weeks, there's been several nobles, merchants, rich people disappearing. And I think Brenner has not been seen in a couple of days. Now, as you said, he went to the Grand Dame. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not.
Interesting.
Could be on a 3-day bender or something like that in the casino. You never know.
Some people are like that. Xanhorn pats his satchel. I mean, wouldn't hurt to stop there on the way back. Somewhere in Yata, I imagine Havarl's probably just like, "What are you up to?" Okay. No, that is useful information. We will investigate. You mentioned previously that there was some problems here with the Zentarim as well. Is that right?
Oh, there's always problems with entering no matter where you go, but yeah.
You think that could be related or something else?
Don't know. Haven't had a chance to put 2 and 2 together yet.
Well, never fear. We are on the case now.
Yeah.
Xanhorn, without sort of picking up on the sarcasm probably, will just say, anything else for us, or should we get cracking?
Get cracking, eh?
Very good.
That's good, lad.
Very good. Good talk. And with that, Xanhorn will turn around and march away, ready to rejoin his friends.
Right, so what are you two guys doing while this is happening?
I guess we're going to go trade the head in first.
Okay, not a problem.
So would that be at the Water Baron's Hall?
That would indeed, yep.
And I guess while we're there, kind of try and ask after the captain of the guards. Is he available?
You ask about the captain of the guard, and you are told rather not suspiciously, but like people who were a little bit worried. He hasn't turned up for duty today. He must be his day off.
Do I even need to do an insight check on that?
No, there's an obvious kind of, what the shit is he? I don't know. He hasn't turned up in 2 or 3 days. Bloody happy. Yeah. Is there anything in particular you wanted to speak to me about, sir?
Yes, Havarl's in Morven. We've recently paid a visit to the young chap's father, and we've been asked to relay a message to the prisoner.
Ah, okay.
I figured it would be common politeness to inform the captain of the guard.
We can pass on that message for you, sir. Not a problem.
Okay, I believe. I did write this down. He's a little shit, and he's disinherited.
I'm sure they can't but hide a smirk on their face at this point. They're trying to keep it. I'm sure that will bring comfort to him in his final hours.
Final hours? Has he committed a capital offence then?
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
He murdered another individual. Right on the street. Just had a fight, killed him, witnesses saw him. Yeah, he's been hanged.
Fascinating. Whereabouts was this?
Just on the dockside. He was coming out of that. Wow, what was his name? What was that name of the place? I don't know. It's a fancy barge casino that goes up and down the river at night. The Fancy Countess. No. Grand Dame. That's it. The Grand Dame.
The Grand Dame. Well, thank you very much. Very kind of you to provide assistance.
No worries.
Fancy a trip to the docks, Benjin?
Yeah, why not? Did we just get another 300 gold to chuck in the bag?
You did indeed.
Cool. So it's a casino boat called the
Grand Dame.
Grand Dame. What, and he killed somebody on the boat or by the boat?
Said on the dockside.
Ah, cool. Okay. Yep, let's go. Do we know where we're going?
Yeah, you know roughly where you're going, yes.
Yeah.
We've got a map, haven't we? I think we've even got a map of Yard, have we? No.
I'm pretty sure we've seen one before.
Must have it archived. Did I assume you weren't coming back here? Probably.
Or you assumed we'd be here sooner.
I don't think I've got a map, actually. I just remember showing you. Did I get it as a handout?
I don't remember it being on the screen because I was skimming through the episodes when I was encoding them last night.
Okay, what the hell have I done with that then?
No. Sword Coast, Neverwinter,
No.
Harper Map, Waterdeep, Neverwinter.
No.
Golden
Okay.
Fields.
Sure, it wasn't Yarta. It wasn't Everland.
Nope, not at all sure.
Okay, so you head down to the docks.
On the way there,
Yeah.
can I keep an eye out for a cartographer's shop?
Good idea.
Ooh.
You can. It's not a particularly big town, but if you do a intelligence check, where would such a shop be?
If only you had a map.
Yes, you
It's
find
I'm
a photographer's
Cenza,
shop.
and I know things.
Yes. So finding a shop is not difficult.
So, head into said shop. Good day, sir. Looking for a map of the Sword Coast, preferably one from an aerial elevation marking any known landmarks and sites of major towns.
Yes, anything in particular you're after, sir?
Not just a general map, enough to cover the Sword Coast and the cities of the Lord Alliance, Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Good City.
Yes, of course, sir. So, maps. I've got a thing for shop. Is maps on here? Sure it is. No, maps not on here. Of course not. Too useful, that would. It isn't, is it? Books are on here. Let's say 5 gold pieces for a decent map.
Good deal to you, sir.
think Havarl might have almost finished his shave.
Haha! We can probably join you at the docks then. Right, let me know what you want to see on a map, Paul, and I will have to do one out of session.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna look for a sort of general shop while we're at it.
Yeah, plenty of them around.
And I just want. I can't see it in the book either. I just want some traps. While we're at it. Yeah, plenty of them around. You know, just some hunting trap type things or something.
There are some in here, I'm sure of it. I'm sure
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Welcome back, Havarl.
Hello, mate.
There are some in here, I'm sure of it. Oh, got some feedback from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching the Twitch stream while I've been waiting.
Now, I thought I had this all smoothly worked out, but it doesn't look like that worked.
It was almost perfect, John. It was almost perfect.
Almost. And then
I
not.
thought traps were in here.
Yeah, I thought they were. Do you want to just say that I've bought a couple and we'll work it out later, or?
Yeah. What kind of traps is it you're after?
Oh. I don't know. What did we need the other day that we presumed I had and then didn't?
You were trying to trap rabbits, weren't you?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, snare, basically, then, isn't it?
Snares, yeah. Or do I just need, like, stuff to make some snares? Oh, hunting trap. It's under H. 5 gold pieces.
There we go.
I have fixed it.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'll buy 2 hunting traps.
Okay. Right then, so you've been shopping.
Yeah, that'll do for now. That's more just to go backwards and make the books agree. Right. Cool. So we carry on down to the docks then, do we?
Okay.
I would imagine that while you're doing that, Xanhorn's retracing his steps to try and find the guards and probably find the same information that you just did.
Yeah, I think through some subtle informationing and working out, you find your way to the riverside docks of Yartar.
On my way, though, I will try and keep an eye out for somewhere I could sell that necklace.
Okay, that's just assumed you'll be able to sell it and you'll get the value for it.
Cool.
So what's that? You've sold that as well?
So that's another...
7. So you can add... Oh, Rory.
Hello.
You've got another 200 gold in your... Oh no, sorry, you said you were watching it anyway.
Yes, but I wanted to clarify, is that your filthy giant head blood money?
Yes.
No.
Then-
No.
No, that wasn't.
The
I'm getting
700...
conflicting messages.
The gold that we split up, that was from giant heads.
Okay, so I don't want any part of that. You guys can have that. Havarl will not have any of that blood money.
I thought some of that came from somewhere else.
I appreciate the gesture, chaps. Thank you. But
What about the pendant from the dead giants? Does that count?
the pendant, if there's a split of that going, I don't mind fleecing them. I do have a problem, doing horrific things to their bodies.
So give Havarl an extra 200 gold from the pendant, and we'll each take less from the pendant.
Benjin, if you're trying to have me on, so help me. Just give me what's fair. I've been quite clear about this. I don't want any of your money from the giant heads.
Right,
Don't try and cheat me out of my honor.
right. So
Call it 200.
you need to add. Yeah. So back into the bag, you need to add 200 from Havarl. You need 750 from the pendant, and you need to put 300 in from the other giant head.
Yeah.
Oh, and the 50 that was already in there.
Yeah, so by my
So
calculations...
that's 1,300 in there, 6,000 from the sale,
Yeah.
but dividing is going to be a bugger. Because, for fuck's sake.
I would
So
have
of
thought.
the 800 left in out of the 1,300, which is not blood giant money,
Blood giant
Havarl
money.
gets 200 of that.
Okay.
And the 1,100 gets split between the three of us.
Yes.
There's 1,200 split between 3, and then 750 split between 4. Plus the gold from the sale. Simple
How
as
did
that.
we? How did we
there's
do on the
1,300.
sale, by the way?
It was 1,300. What did you say, John?
1,200.
No,
1,300.
I don't care.
1,300, which Havarl gets 200, and then the rest gets split between, us three. So, Havarl, add 200 into your bank account, and that's not blood money.
Thank you very much, Benjin.
So we get 1,100 divided by 3. So we get another... Let's call it
360. There you go.
Hang on, no, 350 times 3. Call it 350 and leave 50 in the bag, just for when we next need to divvy it up. That's easier.
So there's 50 left in the bag. Is that right?
Yeah, plus the 6,000. Yeah, there's 6,050 in the bag now, and we each get another 350.
We each get another 350. Okay, right. Whew, that was tough.
Yeah.
So basically, you've been sitting on this dockside going, right, if I give you 5 gold pieces, you give me this 5 gold.
Pretty much. Okay. And we've each got 1.5 grand on top of that.
I feel a new suit of armor coming on.
If it's any consolation, this is nothing on a bunch of accountants trying to split a bill.
Right, there we go.
I've put mine all as gold pieces, that's fine. But we're leaving the 6,000 in the bag for now, because I have a feeling that sword might be 6,050 gold pieces to buy it.
Why are we buying a sword?
Yeah, we're not buying it.
We're returning the sword to its rightful owner.
Yeah.
And the rightful owner said that we could borrow it for an extended period of time.
Oh, right.
So are we all back together at the dockside now? Is that right?
You're at the dockside now, yes.
Okay. And is the Grand Dame here?
Asking around a little bit, you easily pointed towards the Grand Dame, which is a very large and ornate river barge, docked up at the moment.
Well, I suggest we go and find out what we can.
Yes, well, we're assuming that was that Thulsar Brennan is here.
Yes, so you make your way to the barge then, and it, as I said, it's a rather ornate river barge, and at the moment they appear to be stocking up. There's the odd people coming in, like bringing stuff out and bringing stuff in, and there's a lot of quite well-armed guards, both on the deck of the boat itself and on the dock around it.
Are these well-armed guards, are they like the mercenary type ruffians, or are they kind of well-dressed? Are they like uniform? And
It's uniformed and quite well...
Okay. Disciplined is, I suppose, the word I'm looking for. Do they?
Yeah, that's the impression you get, yeah.
Okay, good.
It doesn't look like you're walking on a bunch of thugs, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks more like this is the security for this boat.
Yeah, okay.
Is there any one of them which is dressed in any with any insignia to indicate that he or she would be a captain or in charge of the.
Not the, there's no kind of captains or anything like that, but occasionally you see kind of an East Asian looking woman, which I can't remember the Forgotten Realms term, in like a silk like Komodo kind of thing, giving instructions to people.
Okay. So, gentlemen, what is it? Do we have a plan here?
Do we ever?
At that point,
very good.
Xanhorn will interject with, "Yes, of course we do. Right." So
We've got 6,000 gold and a casino boat.
scroll forward 2 hours. Come on, Red. Come on, Red. No.
Just in case, may I take the bag of holding?
That may be a good idea.
Xanhorn looks slightly distrustfully, but won't say anything.
Very good. Thank you. Right. Shall we?
Havarl, we never really talked about this, but you don't have a gambling problem, do you?
No. I don't have a drinking problem. I don't have a gambling problem. I don't have a sleeping problem or waking up problem. The problem I have is not slapping Benjin on a daily basis.
Did I hear him say this?
Probably. You're all huddled around each other on the dockside at this point.
At which point, I'm just going to give her a jokey little nudge on the shoulder. A little Benjin banter. Ah.
Xanhorn will chuckle, but just lean back slightly, waiting for Benjin's reaction.
A little crack of the knuckles.
Okay, so I think the plan has to be: we need to find Brenna and find out what happened in that gambling, where it went wrong, where the sword ended up. That's got to be our number one priority.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
So I have spoken to my contacts, and it seems that Brenna is currently missing, which the guardhouse, which I think you guys went to earlier, also confirmed.
Quite right.
There have
Very
been
good.
a load of nobles disappearing in the city as well,
Oh,
which may or may not be
That's
connected.
a shame.
okay. Do we... how did you... Is this from your contacts, I assume?
Indeed.
Right. I don't suppose we have a list of families that are missing nobles and families that aren't missing nobles, do we?
No, the well, you know Kolbaz, he was pretty unhelpful in that respect. Fairly
No.
sarcastic. That's all I managed to get out of him.
Okay.
Someone being sarcastic to you, Xanhorn, I can't imagine it.
I know. Why does that happen? Genuinely confused.
But we know that Captain Brenner was a gambling man, a somewhat unscrupulous captain of the guard. So here is as good a place as any to start looking for him, as well, I believe.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Lovely. Okay, so let's head towards the boat and head up the
Champions.
gangplank, I guess.
And Xanhorn put his hand out, expecting the other guys to do the same. Champions!
I'm just
By
gonna-
which point, all three of them have walked off towards the campaign.
You know. Right, we'll work on that one.
As soon as the guards on the dockside notice a particularly heavily armoured individual walking towards them, along with a particularly large barbarian with an axe strapped to his back towards them, they all kind of bristle a bit and move forward and stop right there, please.
I am fully tooled up.
And then they see the almighty Xanhorn. I don't think they even notice him.
Yeah, and a slightly hunched, pale ass guy.
Oh there, my good men.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. We would like to come aboard this fine vessel for some rest and relaxation after a weary travels and adventures.
Okay, they kind of look you up and down and go, you won't be able to go there with your armour and weapons, sir.
Oh, why is there a problem?
Yes, no armour or weapons are allowed on the Grand Dame, sir.
Oh.
Also, we take it your name's already in the list, is it, sir?
Quite maybe. How would one get onto said list?
Well,
You see, we are the champions of chance. Havarl Mashinin at your service.
yes, very well. I'm sure there are ways.
I'm sure you have heard of Havarl Mashin.
Of course, sir. Of course, sir. Your name is probably on this list, but unfortunately, we can't let you in dressed like you are at the moment.
I understand. Rules are rules, and I respect you for upholding them. You fine gentleman.
Yes, this is a very high class establishment, sir, and we expect people to be properly attired.
I completely understand. Please tell me, what time do you depart? I assume that from what I've heard of this fine establishment, it travels up and down the river while your guests partake of some entertainments.
Yes, it does indeed, and we at sundown, sir. We leave dock, but of course you can join us from any time from 3 bells.
Very good. Okay, I think my friends and I will. We'll see you shortly. Will you be on the door again later today?
I might be, sir. There's a very good chance I might be. Yes.
Okay. Well, please, if you are not, please leave note that the Champions of Chance will most certainly be coming aboard later today.
Okay. Make sure you've got plenty of spending money, sir.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. Although, as the name may suggest, we are quite lucky.
Of course.
And if you're looking for probably the best entertainment that Yatar has to offer, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. We already have that. Thank you very much.
I'm sure. I'm sure you've heard of Xanhorn.
Benjin just asks him, "Is it male or female entertainment?"
I'm sorry, sir. Well, all tastes are catered for on the Grand Dame, sir. We don't judge.
Glad to hear it.
Good to hear to you, sir. Right then, and we're going to head away from the ship, shall we?
Before we go, we were wondering if you'd heard of or had seen rather Thulsa Brenner. We have some business with him, and we believe he was here recently.
Captain Brenner, you're saying?
That's the one.
Oh, my memory's going these days. I don't know if I've seen him or not.
Xanhorn will reach into his sack and palm the guy a gold and just go to shake his hand at the same time and say, I mean, I'm sure we could come to some arrangement where your memory is jogged.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could. It's still not... It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm pretty sure I've seen him this week, but when did I last see him?
I will tug my ear slightly and say, are you sure there's nothing you could suggest that might...
wisdom save time.
I mean, you must have seen him. I'm sure,
Should have done that before it cost you a gold.
Oh, it's...
So you're doing your little right.
I'm
so you
doing the thing. Yeah,
right, okay.
DC 15.
Oh dear.
He's rolled a 2.
You do know we should have just done that to get on the boat rather than.
I'll tell you what. I can't remember. Do whisper? I can never remember the command for this.
Do you want those of us who you're not talking to just take our headphones off?
No. There's a way I can do it. I can just send stuff to W. That's it. /W.
Name of the person.
That's it. It's simple as /W. I think I remember that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Whispers.
Whispers.
So I'm going to. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
he's kind of gone a bit glazed over at this point.
And I'm kind of giving him the.
So just to kind of fill while this typing's going on, I need to do a little bit of shopping after we've been here, and I think, and I've kind of been itching to get some like nice clothes, and I think this is the time to get, and a cloak. I need a cloak, some nice clothes, some other bits. What do you think the chances are of us being able to sneak on a few weapons, like knives in our boots?
Who are you asking?
Do you get them, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hand Xanhorn a little note. So, because I've just been kind of hanging out at the back, and just palm note saying he wants 20 to 30 gold.
Right.
Because bear in mind, I'm still pissed off at Xanhorn. I'm not telling him everything.
Xanhorn's used to it. He will begrudgingly reach into his satchel and find 20 gold and say, and he'll put his hand like over the top, like clasping it, and say, I think we can probably come to some sort of arrangement, and this seems like a reasonable kind of arrangement, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the captain, you say? Last time we've seen 2 nights ago, lady in a purple dress. They got off together about dawn. Walked off arm in arm.
This lady in a purple dress. I'm sure you have a name of her. She'd be on your list after all.
Yes, she would, wouldn't she?
She would, because as a fine, upstanding man, you would have made sure that no one got on board without being on your list.
I'm not sure I like this.
I'm sorry, sir. There's no way I could possibly divulge the name of our guests.
But so I understand. But so you do know her name then?
Of course we do, sir.
Lovely. At which point I'm just going to tuck my ear and look at Cenza. So
Yeah.
And okay, I was about.
No, I understand. I understand your discretion, and I appreciate your professionalism. Good on you, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, discretion and professionalism is so good, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This is, even if this wasn't being whispered, this would be going right over Xanhorn's head. So he's like, so are we saying that we need to come to an arrangement, another arrangement now?
No. I think we need to find this young lady in the purple dress, and we know that the good captain hasn't been seen here for 2 nights. Please, one more question just to trouble you again. Is the captain a regular visitor? Is 2 nights a long time for him to not frequent this fine establishment?
Oh, yeah, he's in most nights.
So him not being here for the last 2 is somewhat, shall we say, suspicious. If you had to, conjecture.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe he got a lucky streak. He did do quite well to get that sword off that other chap. So,
Xanhorn's eyebrow goes back up. Nope.
It's a lucky streak, you say? So the sword is just one item. Has he had several wins?
He left with quite a few golden geese that night.
Mm.
Why was the sword notable?
Why was the sword notable? This ain't some pissy letter opener, mate. This thing's about 6 foot long. You don't miss that. He had to make special arrangements. The guy who had it, what was his name? Yeah, no, I can't tell you that. The guy who had it, he had to make special arrangements to get it on the table as a payment.
Oh, very interesting. To
Very
whom would...
interesting.
How did he get it on the table if weapons aren't allowed in there?
That's what I'm saying.
I just raised my hand.
Yeah.
I suggest you tell us these special arrangements, my friend. And he's got to do it. Because he also fails the suggestion spell.
Well, you see, that Havarl Cenza was in quite a bit of debt. He owned quite a bit of golden geese to the casino itself, and Lao Ping had borrowed him loads of money already, so it was kind of his last hurrah. Lao Ping agreed that since it was such a fantastic Pao Ming agreed that since this weapon was so valuable and obviously of magical construction, that it was worth quite a sizable amount of money. It got agreed to be brought in. He handed it over to us at the docks. We wrapped it up in a bit of silk, and it got revealed in the middle of the table. It was quite an interesting night, that was. Shame what happened afterwards, really, isn't it? They reckon he's hanging today, don't they?
Indeed. Do you know where that hanging is?
Probably in Town Square, I would have thought. Midday.
So what did happen? We've heard some stories about he killed someone. Who did he kill? Do you know? Did you see it?
No, it was just out of our watch area, kind of, thankfully. So we didn't have to get involved. But he had an argument with another guest of ours, and it got heated. They left. We thought he'd cooled down. Apparently, he went and tried to get his winnings back, shall we say.
Another guest, you say? I don't suppose you could tell us that guest's name, could you?
No, sir.
No, I didn't think so. That's very interesting. So it was another guest, though. It was another visitor to your establishment.
Who got murdered?
Yes.
Yes, it was. Yes. Very, very bad news, that was.
Great loss.
Yes, if we'd have realised that this Havarl Cenza was such a bad egg, we wouldn't have let him on in the first place.
Well, I can assure you this Havarl is a very, very different egg.
Yeah, good to hear.
You're saying golden geese. What's a golden goose? Like an actual golden goose?
No, sir. That's the name of our gambling token, sir. Our chips.
Ah, of course.
Each one is labelled is a wooden chip labelled with the golden goose.
Understood.
So no cash changes hands normally.
Of course.
Normally?
Well, yes, as I said, the rules are that cash should not change hands. As I said, the special arrangement was made regarding the sword.
Very good. If we happen to be in ownership of a magical item that could be of great worth, how would we bring that to the table to barter for golden geese?
Well, sir, not just you'd have to probably have spent an evening or two on the Grand Dame first, so that you're ingratiated with the guests, shall we say, sir.
I absolutely understand. Yes, thank you. Well, should we head off, gentlemen?
Yes, I believe we
Is
have
there
what
anything
we came
else?
Yes,
for.
I think so. Right, I'll be back in a second.
So, can I just want to check something. Now, I'm sure when we first heard about this murder that young Havarl murdered a croupier, not another guest. And I'm not sure whether that is that's a deliberate. Someone's lying to us, but then now Cenza's on, so I don't know.
Did we get an indication that he might be lying about the guest thing? Could we
Make an insight check?
Why didn't I think?
Ooh. Unusually.
It's you based on what you were told by the individuals of the Hand of Yatar and the way he was talking to you earlier. It was probably a croupier he murdered.
Okay.
So he's probably telling a fib. It's probably seen as being rather embarrassing that a croupier was murdered.
Cool.
Especially as he was one of the guards who was supposed to be protecting said croupier.
Okay. So, Cenza, my good man, I'm sure you picked up on our subtle hunts.
I did indeed.
Is there anything you can...
information out of a chap, actually.
Jolly good. Did you happen to, just to cut to the chase, did you happen to get the name of the lady in the purple dress?
Yes, a Lady Atalia.
Lady Italia. Lovely.
And I do believe if we stand any chance of getting on the boat, we will need to blend in, look a little bit more refined than we do.
When you say we, you're talking specifically about...
No, I am talking about all
Benjin
of
gops
us.
on his hand and like goes like that with his hair a little bit. And says, "Will that do?"
No, well, I understand. Well, I've had my shave today, so I think some more clothes would help us blend into some more of these high class establishments. Won't go amiss.
Absolutely. Bearing in mind my backstory being related to a textile merchant, would I know of anywhere good in the city to go?
Yes, you'd know of places. You've seen someone noted them and gone, yes, that's the place.
Yeah. Okay, so
Off to the tailors then.
off to the tailors.
Ooh.
The montage shopping episode where we walk out of the changing room and go,
Yes.
There's about to be a Reservoir Dogs scene as well, walking down the street afterwards.
Jesus,
Yes.
those hunting traps I bought weren't snares, were they? They're £25 in weight apiece.
Yeah, I think they're bear traps.
Well, you're definitely going to
They're
catch
not-
something. You might.
They're not going to be hanging around long. Yeah.
You might gut it in the process.
That's how you'll catch a bunny, but bludgeon it at the same time.
Yeah.
Dunk.
Right. so-
Fine clothes will cost you 15 GP each, people.
okay.
Am I really going to wear fine clothes?
Yeah, you are also going to need to have a haircut and have some soap on you. Benjin. Benjin.
It's
This-
all for
well-
the greater good.
It's for the greater. It's not just
Think
for the
of the
greater good.
sword.
Think of the sword.
The swords.
The sword.
Right.
Alternatively, if you don't want any part of this night on a boat with gambling and beer and ladies and winning a sword, you can stay on the dockside.
Right. Benjin's going to go balls deep. Then he's going to ask where the nearest spa is, where he can have a proper. How much is a visit to a spa? I want a hot tub. I want wine. I want a haircut, a shave.
It will probably be the same as wealthy or aristocratic. Let's say 4 gold pieces. That's a wealthy lifestyle for the day.
Right.
So 4 gold pieces to have his hair cut neat. He's been scrubbed up clean. He's had a shave. He looks nothing like the Benjin you're used to.
When Benjin
And then what
suggests
is
this, Xanhorn's like, actually, we've got some money. Sod it.
Yeah.
We've been on
So
the road a
you all
long
joining
time.
me in the, so we're going to find like a spa or whatever, and we'll go there for an hour, I guess, or 2.
It'll be like a hot baths is what it'll be.
That's what I was thinking. Hot
Yeah.
bath. Yeah. So that's 4 gold pieces, and then what? 15 gold pieces for
For fine clothes.
fine clothes.
I want a cloak. Can I get a cloak with mine?
You can get a cloak with yours, yes.
A fine clothes something we can add into our inventory?
Should be
Yeah.
able to, yeah.
Is that in there?
Yeah, it should be, because it's basic equipment.
Steve, I'm also after some rather basic equipment, i.e. a dagger, rope, iron spikes, a tinderbox, and some oil.
Let's just assume you're in town, you can get them.
Cracking.
While we're at it, Xanhorn's going to get himself a rope. So the
You know
next
what,
time
I
he comes up with a
almost-
cunning plan.
I almost bought you a rope when I just picked up the hunting traps.
So, we're going to go into this place unarmed and unarmoured.
So we need to get a room in a hotel and store all our stuff.
Or,
I was
just saying, I mean, we do have access to some safe houses.
Well, we how big is the bag of holding, and could we smuggle the bag of holding on with all our stuff in?
All of our stuff could certainly fit in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the chances of us taking the bag? Because when the bag of holding's in use, is it just a flat piece of canvas, or is it like a bulging? Yeah. So that could go under, I don't know, a cloak.
Well, it could just be where all the money is. But presumably, is that the sort of thing that they would check for?
If they have any sort of arcane defences, I would imagine they would pick up a bag of holding. They are fairly common as magic items go.
And they knew that sword was magical as well.
Okay, so it means I can't bring patches on either.
I don't think it'd be a problem having a bag. It's more if they open it and they look inside and there's like an arsenal in another
To
dimension.
be fair, the way I understand it, when you reach into a bag of holding, you have to concentrate on an item you know is in there. If you don't reach in, so you reach into it and think of a longsword. If you didn't know a longsword was in there, you wouldn't see a longsword.
Okay, so that by that extension, do I have to think specifically of my longsword, or do I have to think of, I don't know, any sword? I know it's the semantics of it.
Further experimentation may be needed.
Xanhorn reaches into the bag and thinks about... the giant head's gone, hasn't it? the rod of Vonindod. Without looking at it, just reaches in and tries to grab it.
But you know that's in there. The experimentation is somebody that doesn't know what's in there. Needs to see what they can pull out.
Okay.
So why don't we do this, right? Benjin's got an axe, I've got a sword, right? One of us, without Xanhorn looking, will put one of our weapons in the bag, and then you have to think about a weapon and try and get it out.
Okay. This is going to help Steve's head.
I have two little hand axes.
I thought you had. Okay, yes.
No, I have a great sword and I have a heavy crossbow. I haven't made up the triple set yet, so I have a great sword, a heavy crossbow, two hand axes, three javelins.
Okay.
Yeah, we get it, Benjin.
No, you're going to put in one of your weapons, and then I'm going to put in. You're going to put in, say, your heavy crossbow, and I'm going to put in my sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. Xanhorn's not going to look at which one goes into the bag because only one of them is going to go in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you got an answer for this, Steve?
No!
You're gonna let us go?
So I'm desperately looking up.
Right. Is that how we do this? We're going to put one of the weapons in, and then Xanhorn's going to think about one of them and try and pull it out. Is that right? So if he's thinking of the longsword, but the longsword isn't in there, then he won't be able to get it.
No, because he won't be able to get it because it isn't in there.
No, he won't be able to get it because he isn't thinking of the longsword. If they're both in there, he has to think of what he needs to withdraw.
It's kind of melting my brain a little bit. I'm sure I had a good idea at the start of this.
Man looks up thing on internet.
I go in that with Paul's thought. I think you have to summon the item that you're looking for.
So the question remains: do you have to summon the specific item you're looking for? So let's say Benji puts his great sword in, and I put my long sword in, and Xanhorn tries to pull out a sword. Will he get nothing because he's not thinking of a specific sword?
It's at this point I say, but I can disguise the bag from any magical attempts to scry on it, which is something I completely forgot I could do.
That would have been really useful if we had a really powerful magical object that we wanted to hide from a dragon, say.
It uses 25 gold's worth of diamond dust every time I cast a spell.
But we would still... Anyway.
Okay, so that's a way that we can get all of our equipment onto that ship, which is better than not having any equipment on the ship. Also, where's Fel gone?
Also, are we all sat
Still having
round in the hot
breakfast.
tub having? Are we all sat in the hot tub having this conversation? I
Yeah,
think
but
we are.
you're more or less on the. You're all in either in the spa having this conversation, or you're all sitting in the tailors, or be having your inside leg measurement.
Right.
Yeah, it's a montage.
What would happen hypothetically if you turned it inside out? I wonder.
No, that is listed. They all fall out.
Sounds like a fun party trick. Well, that would be bad
So-
though, if we got to the front of the queue and they said, "What's in here?" then and turned it inside out, and it was like,
Including the Vonendod.
yeah,
Yeah, which is like 10 foot long.
clang.
Okay, so Cenza, you can confidently disguise the bag of holding so that it's not going to be seen or picked up by anyone. No one's going to see it. No one's going to be able to detect it.
It's protected from any divination magic.
So we need
It's still visible. It's still physically there. But if they have any magical eyes or anything like that, it'll be protected. They wouldn't be able to detect that it's a magical artifact.
So someone's going to have to fold this up and shove it down their pants just to make sure it gets on.
Or we just put cash at the top of it. If they can only see what they know is in there, we
Right.
tell them that's where our money is for our betting money,
Steve's
and we go
found
like that.
something.
Show them a big pile of money in it.
So of course you have a bit of a go. I found something about this is the very first edition rules for D&D, because I've even looked at my old second edition rulebook here and I can't find it. So apparently the old first edition rules are that you cannot see what's inside the bag. You can only retrieve what you know is in there.
Okay.
So if you want to put a sword, your brain would instinctively think of, I want my sword, or something like that. But if you wanted a sword, you'd probably pick out one randomly if you know there's one in there.
But it's
you
only
have
if
to
you
know
know
it's in-
there's one in there.
It's only if you know there's one
So
in
they
there.
don't know there's anything in there, therefore they can't pull anything out.
No, you have to
But
turn
it
it
also
inside out.
means that anyone carrying the bag, like Xanhorn or me, if I'm carrying it, we could put something in there, and the others wouldn't know it's in there. So any of us can actually hide something in that bag.
Technically, yes.
Where do you think all my books are?
Oh yeah, but we know your books are in there, don't we?
Do you know which ones?
Xanhorn's definitely not been keeping track.
Anyway, Xanhorn, could you possibly put a glamour or some sort of illusion over the bag so that it appears to have coins in it?
I could certainly produce a minor illusion.
Oh, Rory, you're muted.
So it would just look like a sack of money.
Yes.
Right, guys, I think we've got a foolproof plan.
Oh my god. Said the words. While you're sat there in the bar, Xanhorn's like, why are we taking the bag in anyway? Why do we need all the stuff?
In case shit goes down. Or rather, in Havarl words, because a good soldier is always prepared.
Yeah.
Besides, I don't like being too far away from my sword.
I look at Havarl and just say none of us do.
We could potentially leave Benjin on the dockside as our bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
Fully armed, fully equipped.
I am not fucking staying on that dockside after going to the hot tubs and getting up in this garb when you promised me beer and ladies and gambling.
Very well.
That ain't happening.
We can make this work, I'm sure. And if we need to, we can suggest that people just don't spot the bag in the first place.
There is a. If we were going to leave someone on the dockside, though, it would be most sensibly, it would be Cenza, because he's got wings, so he can fly and catch up.
Mm-hmm.
This is fair. I can only fly for a minute.
You're never going to be more than a minute away if you're on the dockside.
True.
Get you on a horse, you go along the riverbank. However, we would lose all of the benefits of your suggestion.
Yes, I
Mind
would.
reading.
Why
Okay.
do we need to leave someone on the dockside?
Just as an option for backup. That way we can go on board in all our finery and no surprises to have someone airdrop them on when we need them.
In between
But we
all
have
this stuff,
Fergalas. Could he not airdrop for us?
If we can find them. But if
oh
we...
my God.
And he doesn't decide to steal our stuff because he does like shiny things.
True.
That is a fair point.
There's also the small tiny issue that if we're going to call a dragon for backup, I don't really give a monkeys about my sword.
While some of this debate is going on, Xanhorn would like to, in his
Buy a
very
rope.
fine new garb. I want to say that Xanhorn's gone for something ludicrously garish. It's like the brightest purple outfit you can imagine, with like a pink silk shirt. It is just, you would see him several miles away.
Is it one of the ruffled shirts?
Probably, yeah. If
And frills in the arms. Just
oh yeah.
So Benjin has no idea how to buy fine clothes. He takes one look at Xanhorn, turns straight away to the other two, and just say, "What do you suggest?"
Not that.
No. Don't worry, Benjin. Grew up around all this stuff. I'll be able to help.
Right.
Xanhorn's seen how the knobs dress. If you need to blend
So
in, this is it.
So Cenza can.
Yes, I think
Cenza
knob
can
is
be
the right
my
word there.
Cenza will be my personal shopper.
Yeah.
Xanhorn's also got his disguise kit, so I imagine he can add a few embellishes, like fake moustaches, anything else you want to just be a little bit, incognito. But while he's incognito,
In fact, at this point, Benjin looks at Xanhorn sarcastically as he goes to apply the fake moustache and just goes, "You've not been able to grow your own yet." Pats him on the head a little bit.
Xanhorn leaned forwards towards Benjin and go, "Fuck off, Benjin."
It's at some point during all this, I do say, this is all very well and good, but are our names actually on the list?
They are now, yes.
Okay.
How many gold pieces did you give to the guard in the end?
21.
No, 'cause I gave
31.
him one, then I gave him 5 more, and then I gave him 20. So I gave him 26 in total.
Fair enough. Okay.
So before we do it, the thing that he was trying to walk off for, even in his ridiculous garish gear, was to go and double check with Colbaz as to whether he knew who Lady Italia or whatever her name was.
Basically, Colbaz, in his usual sarcastic manner, largely unhelpful, says he doesn't know anything about this woman at all.
Okay.
Which in itself is a bit suspicious.
Okay. And we're all agreed that we're not going to do anything about Havarl Zamorvan.
Well, we've been in the spa all day while he's getting hanged, so
He's pretty hanged by now.
I mean, to be fair, he was a pretty nasty character by all accounts, and he was kind of guilty.
Okay.
as far as we
I
know,
just wanted to make sure that we're all comfortable and that we made that right decision.
as you say that, I imagine that everyone looks across at you just like, well, I mean, it's now 3:00, so
Okay. Slight oversight, maybe. But okay.
we just all got a bit carried away.
Okay. Should we head back to the boat then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head
Okay.
back. You head back to the Grand
So-
Dome. So tell me exactly what you're doing. So in your finest foppery,
Flippery,
what exactly did you decide you're doing with the bag of holding?
Okay. some point, I need to track down 25 gold pieces worth of diamond dust, which I'm hoping
Before
I
we-
can do reasonably
Yeah.
well enough.
Yeah, just grab a diamond and a rock.
Yeah. So I'm casting non-detection,
Okay, so
Which
casting
I've checked.
non-detection.
which lasts for 8 hours. So that should give us plenty of time to get in and out.
Okay.
It's hidden from divination magic.
Yes. Okay, then.
So that's a level 3 spell.
So you cast that on it, and you head off. And I take it Havarl is carrying it under his cloak, is he?
No, we're just carrying it because Xanhorn is going to cast minor illusion to make it look full of money.
It's full of money.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Or alternatively, we're bringing a bag so that when we win loads, we can take it away because they're going to open it. It's going to look empty.
That's fair enough.
That's fair.
So, whichever way you want to twist it. Although, if somebody else wants to do the lying, that's cool.
Xanhorn will look at Havarl and say, maybe it'd better if I had it.
Hand the back.
Okay, so you head back to the dame. Your spells are cast. You're ready to walk on. The guards are there, and other people in their fineries are starting to head in, and you can see them head onto the boat as well.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello, sirs.
The champions of
My
chance
lords.
are back again.
I see if you can live up to your name, I see.
No doubt. I'm feeling lucky tonight.
Well, I hope you have a good evening, sirs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, they lead you onto the boat.
It's that easy.
Wait for it. There's that false sense of security.
So you're led onto like the main deck of the boat, which is basically a casino. So several tables with croupiers at the tables doing different games of chance, and there's some gentle music playing in the background as things basically start to, games are starting to be played. It's reasonably quiet at the moment, but you can see that it's starting to fill up as time goes on.
Okay.
So, as I said, you can see there's various croupiers and walking. There's some guards also posted all around the corners in much the same way as the finery you put there, and kind of sternly overseeing it is this woman in this like silk kimono kind of dress thing. But you can also see it's like yellow with like painted on snakes, and you're adamant you can see the snakes moving. They're not stationary.
Okay.
That's cool.
Okay, can I assume this is it Pao Ming name I heard?
Yes.
Palping, yeah.
Ming or Ping?
Ming.
Okay.
And it's definitely Pao Ming because you wrote Lo Ping.
Yes, I got that wrong earlier.
Okay.
It's definitely Pao Ming.
Okay.
It's not Ting Tong Macading Ding, is it?
I imagine not, probably, Ben.
Sorry, going back to oh god, what's the program? Oh, the only gay in the village,
Little Britain.
Little Britain.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never seen it. Well, no,
Oh,
it's
you
not
just
true. I've
thought
seen,
I was
like, a
being
bit.
casually racist.
Yeah.
Not
Yes,
even
yes.
casually.
We all.
Just thought you were being racist.
Let's just let that one go, shall we? It's probably in character for Benjin.
Definitely wasn't. I was just referring to
Just
Ting Tong
quoting it.
Macading.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So as we're walking around the room and like observing all the stuff that's going on, can we start to kind of subtly try and ask people if they've seen Brenner? We were hoping to have a game against him or something along those lines.
So yes, you ask a croupier along those lines, and you play a couple of games as well, because just walking around and asking questions looks a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
So I take it you are getting in a couple of games and asking. Most people just seem to be genuinely like, "Sorry, sir, we haven't seen him in a couple of days."
And we get the impression that they are being genuine about that.
Seems to be, yeah. So as you're over the next hour or so, it starts to fill up and starts to get busier and busier. Of course, after a while, you feel the boat leave dock and cast off into the river. You do notice, trying to keep your eye on what's going on. Of course, you're betting with these wooden chips. These are golden geese, which are a wooden disc with a golden goose on it, which are worth 10 gold pieces each, by the way.
Cool shit.
So it's quite easy to see how your money can go quickly or not.
So do we need to buy some of these then?
We'll work out your finances a little bit later, shall we? See how you're going. You're doing the odd dabble. I can imagine Havarl is trying to resist as much as possible.
Benjin's going to get a drink when he feels them cast off. So how much is a drink on this boat?
Oh, the drinks are free, sir.
Fuck me. We're a good night, boys.
What we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a couple of group skill checks, since you're all kind of mingling and gambling at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get you to do some group skill checks. Can you all make a wisdom insight check?
As we're walking on, before we're doing this.
Okay.
Can I, if there's a game that we're going for, can I gradually over the evening give people some bardic inspiration?
You can. Well, you can give them this right now for this very test, if you so wish.
I will. So I will use 3 of my bardic inspiration points. So you each have a D8 that you can add to a particular roll.
Lovely.
Okay.
I think I'm all right at the minute.
I think I'm okay there. But they last for, is it 10 in-game minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we're inciting. Oh dear. If only I could give it to myself.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. I can't see anything on the screen. Did I even
You've
roll?
done it, 20.
You did, yeah.
Oh.
Oh dear, Xanhorn.
It's been so busy concentrating on making sure that everyone else is doing well.
It didn't make any noise when I rolled. Is the sound
that's all right.
turned off?
It has worked. Okay, so yeah, I'm treating it as a group test, but you're all kind of on different games doing these things. And so the first one is this insight check. So this is reading your opponent, what cards they've got in their hand, or what dice they've got, or their stack of chips. But now comes the bluff, as you try and deceive your opponent. Everyone make a deception check.
It's not Xanhorn's night.
Jesus!
I better add a D8 to that before. Okay, so it still didn't do great on it, but.
So what was your
So
final
I've used
score,
my part.
Benjin?
6.
And
On
Havarl,
the
you can add
deception.
your...
I did 20 on the insight and 6 on the deception.
Havarl wouldn't be very good at deceiving people or bluffing generally.
But
so
you
I
can
think
use your bardic inspiration to...
I know, but I don't feel comfortable boosting a lie. If anything, I think I should probably use my intimidation as I just sit there simmering, staring daggers at them. Because I mean,
we haven't got to that yet. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
So this is deception. This is the bluff.
Right.
Right. The final stage is when you go like boom, all in intimidation. So can everyone make an intimidation check?
Boom! Splat.
boom.
Yeah, that
Okay.
I'll go. Let's roll that d8. Okay.
So what's your total score, Cenza?
13.
Xanhorn was 10.
It is definitely not Xanhorn's 9.
Benjin. And Benjin 22. Bloody hell. Okay, so how much money are you all betting as well?
I imagine Xanhorn's probably gone in for about 100 or so.
30.
Got to make it. You got to sell the game, sell
Havarl,
the
how much you've
performance.
got?
Havarl would probably go in for maybe
10.
100. Well, you see, I'm a former soldier, so I've gambled quite a bit in my times.
Yeah.
Benjin?
Benjin would easily, he'd go in 100 as well.
Yeah, triple figures for me.
What? So 100 and then Cenza's the only sensible one.
So what?
Sounds
Three of
about
us
right.
have gone in 100, and Cenza's gone in the minimum.
Yeah. So Cenza, you win a total of, including your bet back, so you win a total of 60 gold pieces over the evening.
Yay!
Xanhorn doesn't go quite as well. He only makes 50 gold pieces back, so he loses half of his bet.
Okay. It's an investment, Xanhorn feels.
It's not too bad. Whereas both Havarl and Benjin, although they seem to think they gamble differently, they both gamble in exactly the same way, as they both seem to be able to read their opponent and then just scare their opponent into handing over all their winnings. So they make 150 gold pieces each.
So we make 50, or you mean we profit 150?
You profit 150, so you get your
Right,
bet
because I've already taken my 100 off, so I need to put 250 back on.
Yes.
Then. Okay.
Sorry.
So 514.
So the course of the evening, you two have done quite well, but it mostly seems to be about intimidating your opponent into handing over the cash rather than actually anything clever. While you're doing this, so Havarl and Benjin, so as you're doing this, who's got the highest charisma out of Benjin and Havarl?
My charisma is surprisingly high.
Oh yes, because you're a paladin, aren't you?
I'm a paladin. I'm also quite charismatic. Come on.
My charisma's 0, so or 11, depending on which score you're
Where's my
asking for.
charisma?
So I'm pretty low.
It'll be the
Charisma's
double digit.
15.
15. So, as you're doing this, as you're playing this game, you notice this. You're gaining a little bit of attention just because of the style and your new people. So everyone seems to be quite interested in you. And as you're playing this kind of last hand, Havarl, you notice that this lady is taking particularly interest in you.
Very good.
So this woman in a particularly expensive-looking purple frock
Purple, nice choice.
has sidled herself up to you and goes, "Hello there, sir. I don't believe we've had the opportunity of meeting before, sir."
No, we have not. Havarl Mashinin, and to whom may I address?
My name is Lady Italia.
Lady Italia, it is a pleasure, and I'm going to take her hand and daintily kiss it as a proper gentleman.
You, the refined gentleman.
Of course, I'm a man of fine upbringing. The only way to treat a lady is to treat her as though she is the most precious flower in the whole meadow.
So as you're discussing this, the rest of you get distracted because behind you, you can start to hear this kind of murmur building, and there's a group of people all gathering around one table. It's like people are slowly being drawn, and there's getting a bit of a crowd and a bit of like dice roll, and people go, "Way!"
Xanhorn will definitely sidle over to that and start paying more attention. Just trying to listen in on any of the conversations. Since his luck's been so shit, it's like maybe someone else can...
Benjin's just going to grab 2 free drinks and wander over there as well.
I'm going to stay back and try and keep an eye on Lady Italia, kind of just read her body language as she talks to Havarl.
So, Havarl, she's. Oh, I don't believe we've met before. I don't believe I've seen you here before, sir.
No, this isn't our first time in Yata. It's our first time. My name is Havarl Mashinin, champion of chance, you might say.
What a delightfully witty name for the situation you're in. And you seem to be doing quite well with your chances here.
Well, yes, I spent many years in the army, you see. And, believe it or not, soldiers, we do like to gamble and play cards when they're on those long rainy nights in the barracks. So I'm not unfamiliar with the games.
A soldier, you say, sir? Not one of the local nobles, then?
No, I come from a noble house, of course. I joined the military as a means to kind of escape my my parentage there. Joined the military many a long year, captain I was, and then finally retired, and then took up my days now as a I don't want to use the word marauding hero, but oh well, I guess a marauding hero.
Would we be able to overhear any of this?
You two, Benjin and Xanhorn wouldn't, because you two guys have gone through noises, so Cenza would probably be hearing most of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of propping a barb, just taking sips of a drink. I'm just doing the Spock eyebrow there.
I tell you what, sir, my good friend, Lord Usith, he would be delighted to meet you.
Lord Usthis, and
Yes.
pray may I ask why? Who is Lord Usthis?
Oh, he's a
to
good,
meet
he's a good
such a
friend of mine.
rascal as myself.
Well, he basically likes to meet interesting people, and I do believe you're an interesting person.
Well,
I mean, what brings you to Yata?
What's his
Well,
name? Lord Zaraskal.
Usif.
Usif. Sorry, carry on.
To Yata, well, I'm afraid that is of a mission of great import, and
A mission sounds dangerous, sir.
aren't they all? Aren't they all? Yes, but I'm afraid I can't divulge too much information. It's a bit secret, you know.
Oh, you're not one of these adventuring types, are you?
No, let's say I'm more of an orchestrator of adventuring types.
Ah, I see. Then you really must meet my friend Lord Usif. He loves to sponsor these adventuring types. He might be able to assist you in some way.
That sounds splendid. Splendid. When shall we arrange to meet? Perhaps on the morrow?
Why not? Why don't we meet him as soon as we dock? I mean, the night is still young, isn't it not? When we dock in about dawn, we can go meet him then. How does that sound?
Perhaps. Well, as much as I would like to, and I am very keen and excited to. You see, I'm not too good first thing in the morning. You understand?
Oh no, don't worry.
I need
Don't
my
worry, sir.
rest.
Oh, don't worry. I tell you what.
Especially if
meeting-
I'm going to make a good impression.
Oh,
Lord
don't-
Usif, he sounds like a fabulous gentleman.
Don't worry. Well, the option is there. We can go to his as soon as we dock, so it'd be first light, and we could take you for breakfast. I mean, he does serve a fantastic breakfast. He would love that.
Now, I do have some rather interesting friends with me today.
Right, at this point, Xanhorn and Benjin have managed to push their way kind of forward to see what's going on, and this table is getting a bigger and bigger crowd. And Xanhorn is kind of trying to peer around everyone, but Benjin just barge everyone out of the way. I say, don't I? And a rather familiar-looking halfling is at the table, copper-coloured hair. And everyone's going, I don't believe this halfling. His look is amazing. He goes, I don't know what's in it. Every time I roll, watch, lucky sevens. Rolls a 7, and 7s come out. Yay! To cheers. He sees you two and kind of goes, you can tell this look of, shit.
If Xanhorn does get a glimpse of it, he'll just cheer along like, "Hey!"
Oh dear. Oh,
Is
this
this
is
a
my
game
friend.
where he can win us some money as well?
And he's got a massive pile of golden geese tokens next to him. And looking around, you can see that the guards and Poming are all looking a bit suspicious at him now.
Right. We just give him a little sign saying, you're raising too much.
Oh, why don't we go all in? See, my friend Benjin there, he's just told us we're going all in. What does everyone say?
Fuck it.
The Lady Italia is distracted briefly by this and goes up. There seems to be quite a bit of a commotion over there, doesn't there?
Well, the masses are easily pleased by any spectacle, I suppose, aren't they?
Indeed.
So what happens? He goes all in.
He goes all in. He goes, what do I need on this dice to win? And they'll go, 7, sir. Rolls the dice. 7. Hooray! It's at this point, though, that the guards and Poming are moving closer. And Falgalos looks at you and makes a kind of a motion towards them.
You want us to sort them? Falco will message silently, or as silently as he can.
Just distract them a minute.
Ben sees one of the more. Ben has a look. Ben's up for a bit of this. He's had a couple of drinks. He sees the poshest looking bloke near him and sort of does a half trip and throws the drink over the other guy. And also sort of trips and really shoulder barges him, but without blatantly like punch. He's not going to blatantly punch him one. He's just going to like cause a little bit of a commotion, looking a bit tipsy.
But will you watch where you're going, sir? How very rude. Did you not realise how much this suit cost me?
Your suit just took my drink.
The drinks were free, sir.
Well, that suit might as well have been free. Looking at the state of it, it's covered in beer.
At this point, Xanhorn will interject between the two of them, like one at each arm, saying, "Like, whoa, gentlemen, let's just calm this down. I mean, there's no need to come to fisticuffs, right? Right?
Fisticuffs, you say? Do you think he was going to hit me?
Whoa, no, look, no one's fighting anyone. Let's not get too angry. Let's just calm down here. We don't want to draw a spectacle. We don't want to make a spectacle of ourselves here. Just look, have another drink, Benjin, and let's just calm this down, all right?
What about this tosser, though? What are we going to do with him?
I've never been more insulted in my life. That's just how rude.
Well, you haven't lived, man, have you?
Trust me, you should spend a week on the road with him. You've seen nothing. I'll say to this guy, and I'll just put an arm around him and walk him off towards the bar. Like, maybe I could get you something to wet your whistle, to refresh yourself and take you away from this heathen.
Very rude. I hope he's going to pay for my suit.
I have no doubt that he'll find a way to pay you back for that.
Do we seem to have drawn the attention away from?
They seem to, and sorry, not Cenza. Havarl is busy talking to the lady. Falcalos kind of dumps onto the table and puts this massive sack of coins on the table and goes, I need to make a sharp exit, boys.
Benjin gives him a wink and just says, "You owe me one. You owe us more than one, mate."
Always, friend.
How much money do you reckon he's got there?
Well, he's got a load of wooden chips that are worthless outside of this boat.
Well, I presume he's just cashed them in, has he? Or
No, he's got a bag of wooden chips. He hasn't cashed them in. He's like, He's looking around going, I don't know how I'm going to cash this in. I don't...
You
Give
need a
them
way.
here.
You need a way
It
to
wasn't...
distribute them.
Look. Yeah, I wasn't doing it on purpose. I'm just lucky. That's just what happens.
So Benjin just
See,
says,
look! He grabs some dice off the table, rolls them, and they come up 7s again. Look! See! Oh, shit. He looks over his shoulder, and Pao Ming is directly behind him with arms folded. Sir, I think you're going to have to leave. Okay. Well, it was good while it lasted, wasn't it, boys?
can we get the money off him and the dice? Is he sort of leaving them, or
I don't think it's
is
the
he-
dice that's lucky, Ben.
Oh, is it not? Oh, okay, right. Can we help him not have his money taken off him?
If you make a you can make a sleight of hand check.
Steve, is this happening in front of me?
Yes. Basically, you're in this middle of discussion, and all of a sudden, Felglos has jumped onto your table, kind of, and will dump this cash right in front of you.
Oh no, I fucked up.
Well, I'm just going to stand up and kind of introduce myself. Lady, Havarl Mashinin at your service. I believe you are the proprietor of this fine vessel casino. What seems to be the problem?
If Xanhorn could try and, while this is going on, reappropriate some funds as well.
Sleight of hand check, please.
Fuck's sake.
We're not going to get any of his funds at this rate.
I'm just standing at the bar face palming.
What a time to roll a 1.
I'm doing my utmost to distract her and put on the most massive charm offence.
I'm face palming at that as well.
This person, is this individual a friend of yours, Mr. Havarl?
Mr. Mashinin, and of course, he is a very dear friend of mine, yes. Fell, we call him.
Fell. So I don't recognise you. Is this your first time on the Grand Dame?
It is. We are relatively new to Yata. We heard of your establishment and came directly here.
I would appreciate if you'd never get dressed this venue with your faces again, please. We don't appreciate cheats.
Well, may I ask how he cheated? He is a halfling known to be, almost genetically lucky.
That is true, but no individual is that lucky.
Would you care to place a wager on that?
As unusual as it may seem, Mr. Mashinham, I'm not a gambling woman.
No, I completely understand. But my point is this, that I would say that my friend is that lucky. Whereas you were claiming that he's simply cheated. There is nothing wrong with your dice. As I'm sure you can tell. You can select the dice. You can select the game. And I would wager that he would win. And let's say no money needs to pass. And let's do this as a sporting wager to clear one's good name. In either event, we will leave, of course. We don't want to cause any more disruption, but I don't feel it's very right for the label of cheater to be labelled at our doorstep. You should at least give us a chance to clear our name.
One moment, sir. With that, she starts making motions that you recognise as a detect magic spell. We can clear this up with no bother. Check at one thing. Right, so you say the bag of holding is currently under a non-detection spell. Is that correct?
Yes,
Correct.
yeah, that is correct.
So a detect magic spell does not show anything. The dice do not show as being magical either. I've just got to check one thing. Does a dragon's natural polymorph ability count as a polymorph spell?
I would think not. I guess it's currently active, isn't it?
Yeah. It says magically polymorphs. Yeah, It says magically polymorphs.
Oh dear.
So, unfortunately, Felgloss at this point is glowing like a beacon.
To her.
Yes. I'm sorry, sir. We'd have to ask you all to leave if that's possible. And your friends. Immediately.
Are we docked at this point?
I'll be talked.
No.
At this point, the Lady Italia kind of butches in and goes, Miss, there's nothing we can do to kind of gloss over these issues. And Hamming just goes, yes, they can leave. That's the simplest arrangement. Oh, come on now, Miss Ming. Surely these are new guests of ours. Well, I suggest you let them finish their drinks and then we shall leave quietly when the dock.
Who's saying this to her?
This is the lady, the woman in the purple.
Oh, right.
Surely, Miss Ming, you know me. I can vouch for these people. No doubt you can, but they've obviously shown some deceitfulness. Well, let's we go to the dockside and just let them out, and we'll let them on the way. Keep a handful of their winnings, no doubt. I'm sure. To which Pamming just kind of frowns at her and goes, "Yes, that would be reasonable. We want to keep things quiet, don't we?"
Keep things quiet.
I think it's wise that we all just let Lady Attila do the talking right now.
Lady Italia, I don't believe we've been introduced.
Oh no, we haven't, sir. I am. Come.
Has Ming gone away now? She left us. So okay.
Yes, but you are basically kind of escorted out of the main casino area now.
Okay.
So you're not on. You're on the dock. You're on the deck. On the deck rather than inside the casino part of it.
Is Fel still with us, or is he?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he's been frog marched out with you.
I do beg your pardon, Lady Attila. My friends, please allow themselves to introduce themselves.
With which Xanhorn will step forwards, do his ridiculous bow, and say, "Xanhorn, Bard, champion of chance at your service."
Delighted to meet you.
Cenza, Ykril, champion of chance and cleric of the Church of Ogma. Seeker of knowledge in all things.
You're muted.
And this is Benjin.
You're still muted, Ben.
Ben is Ben who's still Ben who doesn't speak very much.
Yeah, doesn't. Benjin, Barbarian, muscle.
For when we get into a scrape or two, he's very useful. And this little whippersnapper here, the cause of all this trouble, is Fel.
I see, isn't it? He seems to be well. I mean, even for a halfling, he seems to be exceedingly lucky.
Yes, very lucky, Fel.
Yes. Almost supernaturally lucky, you might say.
I don't know what you mean. I'm very guilty at this point. I don't know.
Gentlemen, Lady Italia here has a friend of hers she would like us to meet, Lord Usif. He is a sponsor of adventurers. I've learned that he would be most intrigued to meet us.
Well, it's always interesting to meet someone who's interested in adventuring.
Perchance, Lady Italia, I was wondering if you could help me. And I said, we're not from Yata. This is only our second visit, but we are actually looking for an individual who from here, Captain Brenner. Do you know him by any chance, or where we could find him?
Oh, wasn't that? Did he frequent the casino occasionally?
Well, I must admit, he is the reason why we turned up here today, in hope of finding him.
I'm definitely insight checking her at this point, reading the body language, trying to determine if she's lying or
Okay,
not.
make an insight roll then.
Oh, yes.
He's on it.
You are on it, Cenza.
She flinches a bit at the name and does not appear to be being entirely honest.
I assume Cenza is going to give me some nod at this point to let me know that.
I'll just try and catch your eye and just subtly shake my head from side to side.
So you do know him?
Yes, of course. I think we've met on several occasions. He frequented the Grand Dame often. Yes.
Yes. Do you know where we could find him? We're of the mission I mentioned earlier. Now I feel I can take you into my confidence now. The mission does concern Captain Brenner to quite a large degree. We'd be very grateful and very happy if you were to assist us in completing said mission.
I have not seen him in several days. I have absolutely no idea where he is at this time.
And insight checking that as well.
Okay. As far as you can tell, she's being honest there.
Okay.
I don't suppose you know where. Do you know him well? Do you know where? I mean, if he's not here, does he have friends or family that he could have visited?
I didn't know him that well. I mean, he was a gambler and a bit of an oaf, I must admit.
Right.
I didn't hear him mention anything about his family. Seemed to be too interested in what the cards were doing.
Very well. Well, thank you very much for your help on this one. Now, since we're all here on the dark side, shall we for breakfast?
Yes, why not? So she, so this way she goes and leads you away further into the streets of Yartar. It's I must warn you, fine people. Lord Usif is, what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for?
Eccentric.
Eccentric, yes, is rather eccentric.
Have I introduced you to Xanhorn?
Xanhorn will look at him like, yeah, we got introduced earlier.
Says it is his flamingo suit with frills.
I mean, no one's going to forget Xanhorn the Bard, right?
Too true, my friend, too true. Try as they might.
Xanhorn looks slightly suspiciously at Havarl. Very suspiciously at Havarl.
Yes, Lord Usif is eccentric and a little bit unconventional. I just need to give you a bit of a heads up first.
In what sense?
Well, he doesn't live in the kind of abode one might expect a man of his finery to live in. He likes to keep away from the hustle bustle and away from prying eyes, keep himself to himself.
Can I do my detect evil? Whatever the flipping smells. I just want to just get a
divine sense.
Divine sense, which I can't find. Where is it? Divine sense. Yeah, it allows me to just detect good or evil as I consider good and evil to be within a 30-foot radius.
Isn't that mean that most people are evil by your standards?
Just degrees of evil. So anyone that is evil will smell rather badly, and people that are good kind of resonate as like a ringing, an angelic ringing in my ears. What do I get from Lady Natalia?
You do indeed get a slight whiff from her.
A slight whiff.
So you get you as in there is an odour to her. She's not ringing.
Okay.
She didn't get the ringing endorsement, should we say?
Okay.
Okay, for what it's worth, I believe it also does picks up Celestials, Fae, Fiends, and Undead. Just in case she's any of those things.
Yes, yeah, if she is any of those things, I would know. Celestial, Fiend, or Undead. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Or if she's consecrated.
If she's consecrated,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not a celestial, a fiend, or undead.
Okay.
But she ain't good either.
She ain't a goodie.
She's not a goodie.
as we're walking, I'd like to say to her, how far is it to this place, Lord Yusuf's at?
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry. Just backtrack a little
Are we
bit.
off
The
the ship
smell. Yes, you're off the boat. You're into Yata now. The smell you
Right.
get, Havarl, is
Good.
ever so slightly of rotten fish.
Rotten fit. I'm going to write that down because it feels.
Sorry, what did you say, John?
I was asking Lady Yusuf how far it was to this place.
Lady Atalia.
Lady Italia, sorry. Yes.
Who smells like
How
rotten
far it
fish?
is to Lord Yusuf's place is what I meant.
Oh, it's not far. Just a few hundred yards down this road. As I said, it's a bit unconventional.
At this point,
And-
Xanhorn will say, I don't mean to be rude, but I think last night may be taking its toll on me, and if you'll beg my pardon, I might need to take your leave. And he'll do like a kind of fake kind of vomity kind of. It might be best if I went and refound our lodgings.
That was such a shame. Lord Yusuf would be so disappointed to not meet you.
I'm sure I could, if I'm feeling a little bit better later in the day, perhaps. I think that would be great. But maybe I should catch you guys up.
My friend, are you okay? I've never known you so ill. Would you like me to heal you?
Yes, but possibly later.
Oh, if you're sure, maybe some rest will do you some good.
Yes, I'd prescribe rest, certainly. Nothing can be-
But sirs, Count Yusuf's house, Count Yusuf's abode is probably closer than your tavern. It's just here, and she's in like the middle of like a small town square, which we're here.
Xanhorn will try and turn around and stick his hand down his throat to try and make himself sick, having failed on the actual performance.
And with this, as you're doing this, she opens a sewer grate and points down and goes, "Yes, as I said, unconventional, quite eccentric. But I assure you, his abode is quite lovely once inside."
There's no way I'm going down there. And with that, Xanhorn will stride away to the nearest corner that he can see.
Who's got the bag? Have you got the bag? Can you give me the bag before you go away?
I think Sansa's got the bag, hasn't he?
I
Oh,
picked
so
it up
you-
before because we were worried that we might need to do a deception, although it turns out I'm shit at it anyway.
So I thought Xanhorn still had it.
As Xanhorn strides off, he'll point a finger under his arm and message Havarl and say, "Don't worry, back in a sec."
Okay.
Because I stepped out for a minute, I might have missed things. With regards leaving the boat,
Right.
I presume that Fel lost all his tokens. but
Fel lost all, but you will have kept yours.
yes, we cashed in ours because we weren't cheating.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
It's a gesture of goodwill because you were not seen cheating.
Ah.
Under Lady Atalia's kind words, you're allowed to leave with yours.
Cool.
Okay, fair enough. So, well, if you insist, my lady, allow me to go first. And I'm going to rather bravely / idiotically climb down the sewer.
So having gone
Okay.
round the corner, Xanhorn would like to cast invisibility and then come running straight back.
Okay. She directs to both Benjin and Cenza.
Do I fit down the grate?
Oh, yeah, it's plenty big enough for you to get in.
Okay. Am I still in
Okay.
my fine clothes?
You are in your fine clothes, yeah.
And I find without our armor or weapons.
Or are you?
Bom, bom, bom.
So was there a
Okay,
bit of
yeah.
space between the guys for me to slip down?
Yes, there is, yeah.
Cool.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll
I'll follow down.
be careful not to tread in any puddles
Yeah.
like that would obviously give give the game away instantly.
Okay. How light is it down there?
It's pitch black.
Okay. Can I,
Can't see.
with my dark vision, can I find a rock?
Bless you.
Sorry.
That's it. With my dark vision, can I find a rock and cast cantrip light on it?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
My lady, however do you see down here? It's pitch as night.
I must admit, I tend to not visit Mr. Lord Usif himself very often. I usually carry a torch, and I seem to have gotten one today. But your cleric friend is obviously well prepared.
He is very industrious, is he not?
Benefits of a celestial bloodline, lady.
So, onwards, please.
So she insists that you all make your way down there first, and leads you into. So let me get this right. Yeah. So the only light source you've got is Cenza's light spell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I perchance drop back and stand next to her, taking her arm in mine?
Yes.
Okay, we just want to make sure that I'm right next to her with my very aggressive spell set.
Okay, bear with me just a second, and there you go. So she leads you.
Dodgy at all.
She leads you into the sewers, and he goes, "It's simple. If you just follow me this way, it's a bit of a convoluted route, unfortunately, due to the. So you would all be actually on the same side. So you'd all be over here. Right. I'm gonna have to move you all as a group now. So she moves you through the sewers. I have to kind of do this. Takes you over the little bridge here. Takes you into this central section. I know it's quite unusual, isn't it? Who would have thought such a person would live down here? But it keeps me away from all sorts of things that may be happening on the surface.
Xanhorn is struggling by every fibre of his being not to answer this and make up ridiculous lies and all sorts of stuff. Just
Don't people get confused seeing a lady go down into the sewers in the middle of a town square?
It's very, very early hours in the morning.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning kind of thing. There's no one else around. So it's
Right.
Most people don't see me there. And she leads you to the end of this corridor here, where you can just see the light poking out of a grate, which you have to duck down to get through. Through there, gentlemen.
Through this tiny little gate.
Yes,
Great.
as I said, most unconventional. You can just see the chamber just beyond there. You can just see.
Xanhorn's
Oh,
So
stay on
where
this
is
side.
this gate? Is the gate there, Steve?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Right, can I kind of... Is it see-through? Because obviously I can see for 60 feet with dark vision.
If we stick you there, you should be able to just see through that.
Yeah, okay, so what I see, more of the same basically, a long central platform and it's got water on either side.
Okay. How the hell are we going to get out of this? Well, Lady Attila, I don't feel you're being completely honest with me. This is all just a little bit too much. I've seen some quite exceptional things, but this is really taking it a little bit too far. Now, I've entertained this quite long enough, I feel. Now, I want some straight answers from you.
I don't know what you mean, Sir Havarl. Could possibly be what we're talking about.
To have a Lord, Yusuf, down here, and probably should have thought of this before, but have any of us ever heard of Lord Yusuf?
Good question.
Very good
Is there
question.
any chance that any of us?
I don't think I'm likely to have done.
No.
Xanhorn was familiar with the court in Waterdeep, but I'd be surprised if it reached as far as Yata.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't. So I didn't one of my thoughts.
Okay. So, what exactly is Lord Yusuf?
Well, he's my lord. He's my
Obviously.
friend. Yes,
It's
my colleague.
But like this, so I am a human. Xanhorn is an elf, and Cenza is a Asima. I mean, what is Lord Yusuf? I don't mean to be rude, but to choose to live in a place like this, you would it is quite a bit much.
He's a human noble, of course.
A human noble. Right? Just
As I said,
very, very odd.
As I said, he's a very eccentric man.
Oh, clearly. Well, right. Sure. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's go.
Should we be moving our token, Steve? Or?
Yes, you can move your tokens if you want to move in.
So
Right.
Xanhorn will try and stay
Oh.
behind her. Whereabouts is she?
She will be about here. She hasn't made her way through yet.
I can't see it
So-
unless I put myself by the grate, so imagine that I'm stood behind her.
So it's a large open room. And you can see these two figures, which are kind of like guards. They're Mero, which is kind of like mermen. So the bottom half is like a fishtail, and the bottom half is humanoid. But they tend to be kind of standing to a guard to one side.
But these aren't statues. These are actual.
These are actual men standing. They're standing very still.
Mhm.
If they're statues, they're very, very lifelike statues.
Okay.
And
They're
you hear a voice, but you're not quite sure if the voice is coming from inside your head or is reverberating round. It's a very charming and distinguished voice. It says, hello, friends. I apologise for the unpleasant locale. If you would step into my office at the end of this walkway, I have more suitable accommodations for private discussion.
I assume we are being addressed by Lord Yusuf.
I am indeed Lord Yusuf.
I'm going to again do my detect good, evil, divine sense thing. Is it just more rotten fish?
You'll detect. What is it? An action to do that, or is it just innate that you do that?
It is an action to do it, yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's a stench of rotten fish.
Stench of rotten fish. Jolly good. Right, okay. I don't think so. I think we may have to decline that offer, my lord.
But I can assist you in smiting evil and fighting and ridding the world of evil. Cenza, I have many books here, much knowledge on giants and the Volindot.
How did you know my name?
Xanhorn, come. I will make you famous, the most famous bard that has ever walked the land.
Xanhorn's still invisible, right?
Yep.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Benjin, I have the sword. It's the sword you want. With this sword you could knock down 100 giants. You'll be the mightiest warrior your tribe has ever seen.
The only warrior my tribe's ever seen, but hey.
Does it feel like something might be trying to adjust our perception in some way?
It's something is talking to you, yes.
Right. No.
Time to get tooled up.
We won't have time to get tooled up. Any ideas, people? Because I'm thinking.
I can kick things off if we want to kick things off.
Yeah, I'm just worried that we've got no weapons. I've actually got all my attacks all my spells are based on melee attacks, which I'm going to be making with my bare hands at the moment.
So the
Xanhorn
guy
has
blatantly
everything.
knows us, right? Knows that I'm here. That's our impression.
You didn't hear those individual things, if that makes sense.
Right. I just heard the bit to me.
You just heard the bit to you, okay?
Oh, right.
In which case, I'm just going to say bollocks. Cover's blown. At which point, I'll take a step towards the other guys and then just start pulling stuff out the bag, like all the
Sword.
stuff that they had. Yeah, I'll just like hand it in their hand. So they kind of stood there, and just all of a sudden, like armor appears on Havarl, swords appear in Benjin's hand. The stuff they got is like dunk dunk dunk.
So you will be able to hand things, but you won't be able to put you won't be able to put armor on people because
Alright,
that
I'll
takes
dump it on the floor.
considerable amount of time to put armor on.
No,
So
I just
for
go
me,
sword, shield, patch.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, you just need to give me my backpack because that's got everything strapped to it, ready for me to draw. I presume I would still have had my bracers on because they didn't count as armor. So I presume
But they are magical, so we wouldn't have taken them on.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We wouldn't have taken anything magical on board. Hence, I wouldn't have taken patch on board.
So I won't be able to put my braces on.
Yeah.
And with a loud clunk, you hear the grate shut behind you.
Right.
Is there any way we can react to try and stop that closing?
I can.
I tell you what, then. Roll for initiative, then.
Yeah.
Can I cast Control Water before we do that, or is it too late?
No, that'll be actions at
Okay,
that point.
that's fine. Oh,
Ignore that. That shouldn't be there. Oh, how do I do this initiative without you finding out what it is?
You are shitting me. I did a double roll on initiative, and because I get
Double one.
Yeah.
it wasn't double run. It was
No, it wasn't a double roll.
Yeah.
You
You
got
take-
one.
no, it was you
You
rolled a 5 and you rolled a 1.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
5 plus 2, but it still highlighted it in red because it's
Oh yeah.
picked up a crit fail.
Yes, which doesn't matter. So that's fine. You're fine. You're on 7.
Yeah, but what
Um,
I'm saying is I get advantage on initiative, and yet
Yeah,
I'm
you-
still at the bottom of the list.
You're right. It's two bad rolls.
Yeah. We're gonna have to stop in a minute.
Oh yeah.
So how long would it take one action for each bracer to put them on?
No, it's assumed you can put the braces on as an action.
There is actually rules for how long it takes to don and doff armor.
Right.
They're not going to be good numbers, Ben.
No.
Oh, it's going to be more than one action for a...
Yeah.
It's minutes to put on my chainmail, to put on my full armor is going to take me the
right.
best part of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's not.
First time I get to use them, and
Oh yeah, they're the braces though. You're not putting on full armor. They're just
yeah. So that would be one action.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Havarl putting his full suit of armor on would take something.
It's not worth it. He says before he dies.
Cenza, you have the initiative then.
Okay, burning my level 4 spell, and I'm casting Control Water.
Okay, so what exactly does this do?
Right, it does a lot. I can make it flood. I can part water. If it's bigger, I can cause a whirlpool. But what I'm going to do is use direct flow to basically water bend 2 tendrils and attack for 2 statues.
Okay.
If that's acceptable. It doesn't have any damage for that listed, so.
I honestly think, guys, we're probably going to have to call it there anyway.
10 minutes. It's going to take me 10 minutes to put my armor on.
Yeah.
Is that the same for
That's
any
like-
armor?
Yeah.
Heavy armor is 10 minutes. Medium and light armor is 5 minutes and 1 minute, respectively. A shield is 1 action.
So yeah, braces will be an action as well then.
Cool.
Xanhorn's going to be super squishy then.
Oh, we're going to have to. I'm going to have to take my armor off for this, because
So I got my backpack on before the door shut and everything, didn't I?
Oh, your backpack's on the floor, so all your equipment's on the floor at the moment.
On the floor.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be an action to pick it up, though.
God,
would it?
is it assumed I kept my holy symbol on?
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
much.
'cause that's my spell casting focus.
Does it? I don't think. Does it actually allow an attack?
Well, I don't know. If not, I'll kind of make it run up the walls and just fall down on them as a kind of.
The simplest thing to
Gravity.
do is say what you can do is use the whirlpool function, which then slams them against the wall.
Yeah, thing is, the whirlpool function. So it's got to be 50-foot square.
Yes. So you wouldn't be able to do 2 of them. You wouldn't be able to get 2 of them with it.
Okay. Okay, I can get 1 of them though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll do that. And is that 2d8 bludgeoning?
It'd be 2d6, wouldn't it?
No, it says 2d8.
Oh, 2d8. Yeah, okay. So
No,
anyway,
you've got
strength athletics check. Ba, 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 ba.
Okay.
So, da, 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 da. 20.
Yeah. So it takes 5 damage.
There's 5 damage. Okay. Xanhorn.
So, can I at least take a couple of steps forwards? Which ones? Where are the statues exactly?
They're not statues, they're
People.
there's 2 things there, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can barely see them.
So, and what can I see in the centre here?
Just a platform with so it is just a platform.
So I'm still invisible at this point.
Yes.
Get lost, cat.
it's Kaz.
I thought I heard claws like. What am I going to do? So they haven't attacked us yet, right? Say hi, Kaz. Sneaky. Might have rolled a 1 in your
Stealth roll failed.
Oh, what can I do? I can't attack anything, but I think I can cast other spells. So.
Man looks up thing in player's handbook.
I'm going to take a look at one of them and try and cast Phantasmal Force on it. Pew. Oh, is this concentration actually? No, that's not going to work.
Yes.
Let's retcon that. What I meant to say was shatter. Let's try that one. It's not appearing for some reason. So shatter means that a sudden loud ringing noise emits from a point of my choice within 60 feet. I assume we're 60 feet away. Would that be wrong? Yes, that looks about 60 feet. Less than.
Constitution saving throw then, yep.
Yeah. And it is a DC 15.
So it has failed. So it takes 3d8 thunder damage.
It does. Oh dear.
6. Okay, so you make this loud noise and it shatters against the wall. Havarl.
Well, I am going to dive for my equipment and picking up my sword, shield, and patch. So I'm just going to pick them up.
Yeah.
Does that count as an action, or does equipping my shield count
Equipping
as an
your
action?
shield will be your action.
Okay, and then given that I can't see diddly squat,
I've still got the light stone,
But-
so
I haven't got the range to be able to see anything.
What's the range of the light spell?
not very much. Just let me check. 20-foot radius, bright light, 20-foot dim light.
Okay.
The only target I can see is the woman that's locked us in here.
Yep. So you've taken your action to grab your shield, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've taken my action to move. I've taken my action to grab my shield.
Yes.
And then I guess, is the voice coming from... it's just coming from all around, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't put a direction on it yet.
Okay, I think I'm just going to boldly march forward.
Benjin.
I will, I guess, interact by picking up the braces and action put them on.
Okay.
Would I be able to also pick up my backpack, or?
Yeah, you're able to pick up your backpack, yeah.
Okay, because everything's strapped to my backpack, so I'll put that on, and as my action, I'll put my braces on.
Okie doke.
And that's probably about all I can do.
And then the lady shuts the gate behind you.
I thought it was already open. I thought it was already shut.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I thought you were trying to. That's why I said roll for initiative, because I thought you were trying to interrupt things.
Oh, I thought it already shut. Oh.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Oh,
never
well.
mind. Carry on.
I presume that as well.
And then. Jesus.
Oh, sorry, clicked that by accident.
The motorbike sound.
And something emerges from the water. Make a Havarl. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Aha, this is where you're... Sir, because I have an exceptionally high wisdom.
DC. Go on. I'm not going to tell you the DC. So you feel as if something trying to kind of control you, as in this voice inside trying to control your mind, but you manage to shake it off before anything happens.
Begone, you fell beast!
Ah,
I
we have to
slam
stop
my
there.
sword against my shield.
And we have to stop it there because it's like 10:15.
Oh, well, you haven't got work tomorrow, Steve. Come on, let's keep going.
No, but the wife has.
Very good.
Oh. Well, Steve, I must say, it was a pleasure flirting with you this evening.
No, that got a bit uncomfortable.
A little bit too familiar there.
It's all those little train rides we have together.
The mind boggles. Whatever you want to call it. Oh dear, no, let's stop there. And on that bombshell, it's been a great session. The Master Fate, I imagine, will be back next week. So there will be some more D&D action in a week's time from some slightly different Ponzi suits. Or at least one Ponzi suit. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks, and they'll be back in a week. Until then, it's been great. Catch you viewers soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.